These are all the hero perks in Overwatch 2. We're going to break them down. There's a lot, but we're going to break them down, and I think they're insane. But before we begin this, what I want to say is I actually want to commend the development team here, because Overwatch has been a bit too, I think, they don't take many risks, and this feels like a big risk, because this is shaking up the game, because these are in competitive, by the way, in a big way, and the balance is going to be whack. But I think that's fine, right? Give players more complexity. It makes the game more fun. Worry about balance, further down the line. Hopefully that's what they're doing. But let's just get stuck into this, because it's insane. So we're going to start with, we're just going to go in order through this. I mean, you can see there's a ton of heroes in this. We're just going to go through it and break them down and just see what their abilities are, because as I'm sure you're about to find out, some of them are pretty insane. All right. Yeah. So let's begin with Ashe. Now, the way these work is you get a minor perk and you get a major perk. And these perks are attributed to you, I believe, at the starts of rounds and things like that in competitive. You're basically selecting them in the spawn, effectively, right? You're not selecting them in the middle of the game as the game's being played, because that'd be kind of crazy. Anyway, what you've got is this, like I said, minor system, or the minor perks are not as impactful, but they change sort of your moment-to-moment gameplay, generally with your primary fire, or the main ability that you would use with that hero. And then major can completely change the game in a big way for your character. And I think what they're looking for is maybe you'll take different major perks against different team comps. So in a way, this is maybe them trying to make heroes viable almost against a lot of different options. But I think it's really cool, because even so, it's got me thinking wow, there's a lot of stuff here. And it's been a long time since I've actually sat back and thought, you know what? It's going to be fun to start almost relearning the game again. Because, we can feel like we've just downloaded the game. And here we are. Anyway, let's get into this, because we've got a lot to go through. So, rapid fire. Unscoped shots gain 30% increased attack speed, but deal 15% less damage. Okay, so that's okay. Sidewinder. Coach gun pushes Ashe and enemies 20% further. That's really good, because, that's going to be great for movement as well. Major. So, these are selectable once you reach level 3. Viper's Sting. Hitting 2 consecutive scoped shots on a target deals 25 extra damage and reloads 2 ammo. Now, if that's instant reload, that means you can just keep shooting at the target, right? Provided you keep hitting them, and it's dealing extra damage. That is bonkers. But again, remember, if you're level 3, you're playing against other heroes with level 3 talents as well, or perks, and the whole balance spectrum can be kind of, it's hard to sort of visualize this, right? Because you just, in my head straight away, you're like, wow, that's insane, that's actually broken. But we don't know what the other heroes are doing, but we will do when we go through them. Anyway, Airburst. Dynamite has a 40% increased detonation radius while airborne, and refunds 3 ammo when thrown. So what I like about these is they're actually going down the path of giving her ammo back, which obviously that's a major downside to her, the fact that she reloads as slow as she does. So giving her free ammo seems insane with these, but they look pretty good. So next up is Bastion. Now, he gets Smart Bomb. A36 tactical grenade self knockback is increased by 25% and no longer damages you. That's okay for movement and whatnot. Armored artillery configuration. Artillery grants 300 temporary overhealth. Again, that's sort of his ultimate's not great anyway, so you probably would take Smart Bomb most of the time there. And then his major. So Lindholm explosives. Configuration assault's weapon slowly fires explosive shells instead of a rotary cannon. So it literally turns you into the Bastion tank of old, which would be insane. Or self-repair. Press E to rapidly heal yourself, which again is one of his old abilities come back to the game. So kind of interesting for Bastion there, but this Lindholm explosive, sign me up. So next up is Cassidy. Now, he gets Quick Draw. Fan the Hammer shots are individually controlled and can crit for 50% more damage. What? Wow. That's actually quite good. That's quite good. What the hell? Or past noon, Deadeye refunds 30% ultimate charge if it fully expires. I don't know about that, actually, because it would be nice to have rapid Deadeyes, but it also would be nice to have this. That's insane. Okay, so Major. Gunslinging. Critical hits with primary fire reduce the cooldown of combat roll by 3 seconds. That's massive, that is. Especially if you're landing the crits, that is actually massive for everything. Think of your reload on combat roll, your survivability, because you're damaged. That is just insane. And Bang Bang. Cassidy throws a second flashbang that travels further, I should say, farther. I'm not posh. It goes farther, doesn't it? But both flashbangs deal 30% reduced damage. Okay, so his are they're okay. They're all right. So next up is Echo, and Echo gets friendly imaging. Duplicate can also target allies. That's kind of cool. Enhanced duplication. During duplicate, your clone's first ultimate extends duplicate's duration by 3 seconds. That's probably worth just taking that, to be honest, than this, but that's kind of cool that it exists. And then the major one, full salvo. Sticky bombs fire 50% more projectiles, but all sticky bombs deal 15% less damage. That's actually insane, because that is really powerful. That is really powerful, because you've got more bombs. You're throwing more bombs at a target. So, and it's going to be easier to hit. That's actually that is really strong. And high beams, focusing beam, eliminations, reset flights, cooldown. That also could be insane as well, because you're getting kills. You'll be able to keep moving around really fast. They're interesting ones on Echo. They're actually quite interesting. Next up is Genji, and he gets acrobatics. Swift strike resets double jump. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. Dragon's Thirst. Dragon Blade swings gain 30% life steal. I mean, so one of the issues with his ultimate has always been his survivability. So if you can suddenly just be like, actually, no, I've now got 30% life steal, that could be absolutely bonkers, to be honest. But I think acrobatics would be nice to play with, because it'll make him more fluid. And then major, blade twisting. Swift strike deals 25 additional damage over time when used shortly after an elimination. Okay, that's like, hang on a minute. Swift strike deals 25% additional damage over time when used shortly after an elimination. That could be quite good, actually, because if you're chaining kills together, that could be really good. Meditation, regenerate 25 health per second while deflect is active. Now, we've already seen 2 self-heals with the reintroduction of the Bastion one. It's interesting that is giving characters the ability to heal themselves. That is very interesting, because you can almost, like, you know, be more, I guess, defensive, air quote. I mean, you know, not defensive, but give yourself more of a you know, if you're going in flanking, let's say, and you disengage, you can heal yourself. But then, to be honest, it's while deflect is active, so it's not like you're running away and sitting down. I'm sort of thinking about Iron Fist, to be honest, in my head here. But no, while you're deflecting, you'd be healing. So that seems really good, actually. This meditation seems really good. Hanzo, so he gets Sonic Disruption. Sonic Arrow hacks nearby health packs for 12 seconds. So it's kind of stealing a bit there off Sombra. That's actually funky. Scatter Arrows. Storm Arrows split into 3 new projectiles on their first ricochet and bounce 2 extra times. Yeah, you're taking that one. You're not going to take this one. It's funny. Maybe it's got some use on some maps, but this is going to be funny, so you take that. A major, Dragon Fury. After hitting an enemy with primary fire, gain 25% attack speed for 1 second. So that's going to be like bang, whoop, bang, and then you can fire a bit quicker. Bang, whoop, bang, bang, bang. In fact, no, it would be bang, 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 bang. If you kept hitting the targets, you would just have 25% attack speed, which would be broken. But that would be insane. And Yamagami technique. Wall climb accelerates your lunge cooldown by 250%. So what? You can, yeah, no, you're taking Dragon Fury with this. 100%. That is bonkers. So next up, we've got Junkrat. And, okay, so you get... for our American friends out there, aluminum frame. We all know it's aluminium. Aluminum frame. Steel traps throw range is increased by 50%. Nitro boost. During Riptire, use left shift to gain a quick boost of speed. Doing so reduces Riptire's damage. Okay, by 50%. That's massive. So you can get in quicker with a little boost, and it'll be harder for people to kill it, but it won't do as much damage. But wouldn't a half damage Riptire still kill like a squishy? It absolutely would, wouldn't it? Yeah, so... major is Frag Cannon. Frag launches projectile speed is increased by 40%, but its max ammo is reduced. Okay, so that's going to make it a lot more... Like, that's going to be crazy, because your projectile is going to fire out 40% quicker. That's going to make it a lot easier to land hits with. And TikTok... TikTok... Concussive Mine Arms, 0.5 seconds after landing, increasing damage by 50%, explosion radius by 50%, and the health by 200%. I want both of these. I don't want any of these. That's crazy. What? So let's take a look at May. So she gets Chilling Reach. Primary fire's range is increased by 30%. Permafrost, Ice Wall's duration and cooldown are increased by 2 Hang on. Ice Wall's duration and cooldown are increased by 2 seconds. What? So I don't know. I'm like, what should that be decreased, or is it because they're saying permafrost that they're really they've got more health now? The duration and the cooldown are increased by 2. Yeah, I think it just makes it stronger, right? I don't know. That seems weird. Anyway, moving on. Major biting cold. Secondary fire hits slow enemies by 15% for 1.5 seconds, stacking up to 30%. Okay. That seems really good. So I'm guessing if they're slowed and you hit them with that, that's going to do a lot to them. And then Cryo Storm. Cryo Freeze slows and deals 70 damage per second to nearby enemies. I don't know about Maze. They're a bit weird, Maze are. So moving on to Pharah. She gets Drift Thrusters. Pharah can move while Barrage is active. A bad time. Helix Shields converts 75 health to shields. That actually is probably better. Let's be real, because shields regenerate really fast. So, like, yeah, you're taking that. This is funny because you'll be able to move with your ult, but it's never going to get used. You're going to take that. And then Major, Concussive Implosion, Concussive Blast, Knockback is inverted to pull people in. We did see a little video clip of this in the announcement trailer, but this looks really good. You can pull people together for like a quick splash of damage. And obviously, if you're Pharah, you can pull them into the area where you're firing rockets in. And Fuel Stores, Jet Dash grants 50% fuel. Maximum overfuel is increased by 100%. Yeah, I think you take Concussive Implosion and Helix Shield. So what I'm kind of worried about with some of these is like, it seems like there's like sometimes just a fun, stupid one, but would never get used. I don't know. But she seems really good. All right, let's take a look at Reaper. So Death's Shadow. Shadow Step reloads Hellfire shotguns and has 25% increased range. Soul Reaving collects soul globes from dead enemies to restore 50 health. Look, again, bringing back an old ability. Just out of spite, I'd take Death's Shadow. Major Dire Triggers use right mouse button to fire a volley with long range accuracy from both Hellfire shotguns. So, like having a long range skill shot on Reaper could be actually quite sick, because you could take out flying targets really easy with that, or maybe someone who's like super far away and you want to take them out. That's insane, especially if it's like hit scan at range, which I'm guessing it would be. Ravenous Wrath. Wraith, sorry, I should say. Leaving Wraith form grants 40% additional lifesteal for 3 seconds. That's also fairly good, but I don't know, I think I'd take... this might be better for him, you know, because having that much more lifesteal is going to make you absolutely unkillable, because you can use Wraith form to, like, trigger it. Ooh, he's strong. Okay, let's take a look at Sojourn. So extended mag, maximum ammo increased by 15. Overcharged. Railgun's maximum energy is increased by 50 while overclock is active. I'm going to slate the devs here, right? This kind of stuff is boring as shit, guys. You know it is. This is like going back to the World of Warcraft talent, the OG talents, right? It was just like extra damage or like 2% extra damage. Free. It was just shit. No one wants that. You want fun things that do stuff. So that's boring, but actually probably is quite good for her. Overcharged anyway. Railgun's maximum energy is increased by 50 while overclock is active. Again, an ultimate specific one. So it might actually be better to take extended mag. You get more sort of value throughout a round from it, I guess. Major dual thrusters. Power slide gains an additional charge and its jump height shifts to lateral movement. Power slide gains an additional charge and its jump height shifts to lateral movement. That could be sick, actually. An adhesive siphon. Disruptor shot can stick to enemies and generate railgun energy while dealing damage. That could also be sick, but I feel like having massive mobility with more ammo is probably really good for Sojourn, but kind of a bit boring, I don't know. All right, Soldier 76. So, yeah, recycled pulse munitions. Helix rockets reload 15 ammo if they deal damage to an enemy. Okay. Field emergency. Biotic field's healing is increased by 100% on critical health allies. That's actually quite good, but I think I'd take this. I don't know. That's quite good, though. Agility training. Sprint speed is increased by 20%, and reload can be performed while sprint is active. That is powerful. And so stim pack. A biotic field can be used as a stim pack, increasing attack speed and reload speed by 30% while being unhealable for 4 seconds. Oh, okay. So that basically is like the StarCraft stim pack, I guess. It makes you go faster, but you take damage when you do it. Although in this case, you don't take damage. You just can't be healed for 4 seconds. Ooh, actually turning Soldier into this like rapid flanking hit scan DPS machine could be quite cool. Okay, let's take a look at Sombra. So, viral efficacy. Virus's cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds when an enemy affected by virus is eliminated. Control Alt Escape. Dear oh dear. Teleporting with Translocator while at critical health initiates passive health regeneration. That's quite good, actually. That's quite good, but if you can aim, you might take viral efficacy. Anyway. Major, white hat. Hack can be used on allies to restore 100 health over 2 seconds. Sombra being turned into a healer. Stack overflow. Hack's silence duration is increased by 100%, but its range is reduced by 30. Sombra's kind of funny. Symmetra. All right. So sentry capacity. Sentry turrets gain an additional charge. Okay. Advanced teleportation. Teleporter's range is increased by 50%. Probably going to take the turrets, to be fair. Maybe some maps you might take this. Could be a specific strategy, but this, yeah, you probably take that. So major, perfect alignment. Primary fire's range increases by 15% with each additional charge level. That's stupidly good. And shield battery. Symmetra regenerates 20 shields per second while within 10 meters of a teleporter. That's kind of like an old take on a, like, it's kind of cool. That's kind of the icon, isn't it, for our old shield gen, I think. But yeah, I don't know about that one. I think probably this. Perfect alignment and sentry capacity. You take most of the time there. Torb, okay, Torb's stupid. But Torb gets this. So, Craftsman, Forge Hammer can restore armor health to allies. Turret repairs heal is increased by 25%. Go around bashing the tanks with your hammer. Fully loaded, activating overload fully refills rivet guns ammo. That's quite good. So you've got like a defensive option and an offensive option, but I think this is really good. So major, so this is all based around his turret. Anchor bolts, deployed turrets throw range is increased by 50%, and it can now attach to walls and ceilings, so you can put it in places where you would not expect it to be. Similar to Namor in Rivals, I guess. An overload turret. Overload upgrades your turret for 5 seconds, increasing its health and damage. This is giving you a level 3 turret back to the Overwatch 1 turret. So Torb's is funky, it's interesting. I like this anchor bolts idea, though. It's pretty cool. All right, then, Tracer. This is just giga broke. I love this. So blink packs. Health packs restore a blink charge. Blast from the past. Pulse Blonde's radius is increased by 50%. So that's good. But this is really good, because think about Tracer blinking around. Oh, I'm going for a health pack, or I've got another blink. That's really good. But then think about it with this major. Flashback. Recall restores all blink charges. So you can be like blink, blink, blink into a health pack. Blink again. Rewind. Blink, blink, blink. Quantum Entanglement. Recall grants 50 overhealth that decays over time. No, you're just going to take flashback and blink packs. Sometimes you might take this for a laugh, but no. Tracer is blinking like a motherfucker. Venture. All right, then. So, seismic sense. While underground, Venture can sense enemies within 25 meters. Excavation Exhilaration. While Tectonic Shock is active, cooldowns refresh 300% faster. I don't know about this, actually. So, one's like a scout style ability, but that'd be really good because you can see where enemies are, especially if they're behind walls and stuff. But I think maybe you take this one most of the time. Anyway, major, smarter excavator. Smart excavator's range is increased by 25%. That's probably, again, it sounds boring, but that's probably really strong. And covered in dirt, dealing damage with clobber grants up to 30 explorers resolve shields. Widow. All right, then. So, scoped efficiency. Scope shots cost 3 ammo instead of 5. Focused aim, scope shots charge 50% faster during infrasight. You're just going to take this because you're going to get more shots, it's just more efficiency in the game. It's even called that, right? Round to round, you're just going to get more output, you're doing more stuff, you're getting more value, I guess. That's the way with it. Anyway, major, escape plan. Scoped shots. A scope shot hits reduced grappling hooks cooldown by 4 seconds. That could be quite good, actually. But you've got to land that. You've got to land. And it's just a scope shot, right? It's not a crit. I thought it was a crit, but it's not. And deadly duo. That's what that says, isn't it? I'm getting slaughtered in the comments below. I should really understand what that says, but I'm such a goddamn idiot. I don't. Let me Google it. Let me Google it. Deox. I don't want to say Deox. Oh, no. Get ready. You're going to hear this. It's duo, isn't it? I'm sure it is.
It is said as do.
Do. Nearly. Do. Anyway, I digress. So, Van Mine gains 50% increased damage and a second charge, enabling 2 active mines at a time. Widow's kind of boring, to be honest. All right, so on to Ana. And if I say Widows are kind of boring, Ana's are actually insane. They're like Tracer, Giga level, Giga, powerful, like you wouldn't believe. So she gets groggy. Enemies waking from sleep dart are slowed for 2 seconds. That's good. Biotic bounce. After exploding, Biotic grenade bounces and explodes again for 50 damage and healing. That's also really good. This, though, is where things get crazy. Look at this. Biotic rifle can crit enemies. That is insane. That is actually insane. And Shrike, using Nano Boost, also casts it on Ana. This is insane. Headhunter would be insane for Ana. You'd actually be bonkers to take that because this is so good. That is insane. All right, then. On to the Baptiste. And so he gets Field Medicine. Immortality Field restores 80 health to nearby allies and 40 health to Baptiste when destroyed. That's quite good, actually. Automated healing. After placing Amplification Matrix, your shoulder turret periodically fires up to 12 shots at allies, each restoring 25 health. I don't know about that's actually quite good because you could be selfish with your Amplification Matrix, chucking it down on the ground and then just sort of you're providing passive healing to people around you. I don't know. It's interesting that is, but I kind of like that. Field Medicine. Although I hate his Immortality Field. Assault Burst. Regenerative Burst grants Baptiste 20% attack speed for 4 seconds, but no longer instantly heals. Okay. Rocket Boots. While airborne from Exo Boots, use space to dash horizontally. Oh, I don't know, actually. I like the movement idea on Bap. Baps are quite interesting. All right, then moving on to Brig. So Barrier Restoration. Shield Bash restores 100 health to Barrier Shield when it hits an enemy. That's quite good. Morale Boost. Inspire lasts 3 seconds longer when activated by Whip Shot. That's also really good. So again, these are like kind of boring, but this is really good. Having an extra 3 seconds, if you get the Whip Shot activation on Inspire, is a ton more healing. Well, that's actually a ton more healing. And also damage to enemies. Anyway, so quick fix for Major is Repair Pack, instantly heal. Hang on, that's not right. What? Since when has this been a thing? Inspire, dealing damage to... Oh, I'm off my head here. I read that as it dealt damage. I was like, what? And they make it Inspire do damage? No, they're not. I've lost the plot. Oh, it's too late. No. When you deal damage, it triggers and then it heals, right? That's what Inspire is. I was like, have they made her AoE heal damage people as well? No, they haven't. They absolutely haven't. Anyway, quick fix. Repair Packs instantly heal an additional 35 health to critical health allies. That could be quite strong, actually, to get people out of a bad spot. Whiplash, Whip Shot's knockback can slam enemies into walls, dealing 50 extra damage. That could also be quite good. Brigs are interesting. Illari, she gets Rapid Construction. Healing Pylon builds 300% faster, and its cooldown is reduced by 1.5 seconds. And Summer Solstice, Illari's flight time during Captive Sun is increased by 3 seconds, and her flight speed is increased by 20%. I quite like that one, although this sounds more fun, to be fair. And Major, you get Solar Power. Fully charged solar rifle hits grant 12.5% of your maximum solar energy, overfilling up to 50%. And Sunburn, Outburst ignites enemies, dealing an additional 70 damage over 3 seconds. Oh, that's quite good, actually, the Sunburn one. Illiaris are interesting because they're just all about, like... I was going to say they're all about doing damage, but obviously this gets healing out quicker, but... Those are quite funky. Juno, so familiar vitals, pulsar torpedoes lock onto allies 35% faster. That's really good, actually. Hyper boost, while using glide boost, passing through hyper ring pushes you forward. That could be okay, but I think this is going to be great because that's going to let you doing stuff faster is really strong, especially when it's a heal as well. That's actually really good, that is. But it's only for the ally lock on. And Master Blaster, Medi Blaster can crit enemies. Yeah, that's... allowing supports to crit is really going to be really powerful. That is really, really powerful. The Ana one's powerful. This is going to be powerful. But the Ana one's going to be better. Don't be under any illusions there, guys. Reboot, activating glide boost, resets double jump. That's, probably... That's okay. Kiriko, she gets urgent care. Healing of food or projectile speed is increased by 50% when seeking critical health allies. That's a lot of burst healing, that is. That is a lot of burst healing. What? Fortune Teller. Kunai hits launch 2 healing of food to an ally in front of you. That's also quite good. This, I think, is going to be insane, though. Urgent care. That is massive amounts of healing, that is. Major, shuffling, swift step can be used again within 4 seconds of its initial cast. That's good. Foxtrot, protection Suzu grants 40% movement speed to allies for 2 seconds. That's also good. Kiriko's are interesting there. This is a funky one. That really is funky. All right, Lifeweaver. So Life Grip cleanses negative effects. That's good, actually. That's good, that is. He's got a cleanse. That's really good. Life Cycle, while active, regenerate 10 health per second. Upon death, drop a healing seed that heals allies 250, whatever. Take this. Major, Life Weaving, rejuvenating dash adds 20 healing to your next healing blossom within 3 seconds. Super Bloom, thorns detonate for 30 extra damage when enough stick within 1.5 seconds. I quite like the idea of that, actually. But we all know Lifeweaver is just a heal bot. So you're probably taking that. I don't know. But yeah, that's funky, though. Lucio, all right then. So base blowout. Sound waves knockback is increased by 15%. We like it. Grooving, regenerate 4 ammo per second while wall riding. That is also pretty good. But I think I'd take the extra knockback. Major, noise violation. Crossfade's range is increased by 150% while Amp It Up is active. That's pretty good. And Accelerando. Lucio's attack speed is increased by 50% while Amp It Up is active. I mean, you could take... Oh, yeah, that's great. Like, if you just want to be a Reddit Lucio, you take this, and then you take the ammo regen. Or maybe you take the knockback because you want to go for the clips and knock people off the map. I don't know. Mercy. The Mercy one is crazy. I've seen the Mercy one on Twitter before I made this video. But Angelic Recovery. Mercy receives 15 health per second while Caduceus' staff is attached to a full health ally. That's pretty good. Winged Reach, though, Guardian Angel's range is increased by 30%. That is bonkers. Bonkers. This, though, Chain Boost, secondary fire links to a second nearby ally. That's pretty good as well. But remember, it's just secondary fire, so it's just a damage boost. It's not the heal, obviously. And Flash Heal, right? This is insane. Resurrect can be used on Caduceus' staff's active target to restore 150 health. Doing so incurs a 15-second cooldown. So it turns your res into a burst heal if you've got the staff connected to them. Boom. I like this one is great. Like, it's one of those examples of adding more complexity. It sounds really cool where, some of the other ones are not as interesting, but this is like, whoa, this is cool. These Mercy ones are actually quite good. Moira. All right, then. So Vanish, Fade's duration is increased by 0.5 seconds. Uprush, Fade's jump height is increased by 50%. I mean... I'm going to take this because I just want to jump like an idiot. So, yeah. Ethical Nourishment. Biotic Orb's first 50 healing is instant on each ally it encounters. What the hell? That's insane. That is actually, again, it's like giving healers this like burst healing potential. And Contamination. I mean, these perks just completely throw the game into disrepute, which, like I said, is good. Just keep adding features, then think about balance them. Add new stuff, add new ways to play, keep the player base fresh. Because the longer you leave things stagnant, it gets downloaded, it gets worked out, and the players get bored. So I'm actually in favor of this completely. I think it's fine. But anyway, yeah. So Contamination. Enemies being damaged by a Biotic Orb receive 25% reduced healing. That's quite good, but I like this burst healing one. That sounds insane. All right, let's take a look at Zen. Zenith Kick. Snap Kick's knockback distance increased by 30%. Ascend Dance. Activate and hold double jump to hover for up to 3 seconds. Just take the kick. The hover could be quite funny though. Ascendance. I want to say ascendance, but that's ascendance, isn't it? Or is it just ascendance? I don't know. It might be the American spelling. I might be an idiot. I'm not sure. Anyway, moving on. So, focused destruction. Secondary fire charges 20% faster and can store 1 extra orb. That's powerful. Duality. Zenyatta heals Orb of Harmony's target for 20% of his damage dealt to Orb of Discord targets. That also could be massive, because you could just discord the tank and then just keep piling the damage in. And your Orb of Harmony, if it's off on like, you know, somebody flanking or hard to reach, they suddenly get like giga healing off it. It's also like Lunar Snow's thing, isn't it? The snowflake. All right, let's move on to tanks. So we've got D.Va, Bunny Stomp, Cool Mech's damage radius increased by 50%. That could catch quite a lot of people off guard, because radius increases are actually massive when they happen. Ejection Suit. Eject grants 75% temporary overhealth. I think Bunny Stomp would be funnier. This one might be a bit more useful. Anyway, Shield System. Convert 150 health to shields. Defense Matrix restores shields based on 25% of its damage absorbed. Oh, that is quite good. Because again, that's almost like it's not a self-heal technically, but it's almost like a way of giving yourself shields back. That's kind of cool. Heavy rockets. Micro missiles are swapped for heavy rockets, which fire fewer projectiles with increased damage and explosion size. So it depends how much damage these do, because if they do tons of damage, obviously you can just start diving on people and blasting them with rockets, bumping into them, meleeing and doing whatever, and you could be doing tons of damage. So I'm not sure. That could be good. But yeah, they're okay, the D.Va ones. All right, Hazard. So off the top, Violent Leap Slash deals 30% more damage to enemies above 250% health. Reconstitution, Jagged Wall hits charge Spike Guard with 25 energy up to 50 extra. An anarchic, I can't say that word. It's anarchy. I'm just going to say anarchy zeal. Anarchic zeal. Spike Guard spikes gain 25% lifesteal. And Deep Leap, Violent Leap's range is increased by 20%. I mean, that's probably quite good, giving him extra range there on his movement ability. But I'll be honest, I've not played enough Hazard to really comment on this, but Hazard mains, let me know in the chat. Junker Queen. All right, so Rending Recall. Recalling Jagged Blade from a stuck target refreshes its wound. That's not bad, actually, that. Battle Shout. This is also from World of Warcraft, isn't it? Commanding Shout, and also Commanding Shout is as well. But anyway, fully reloads Scattergun and increases allied reload speeds by 50%. That's actually really good, that is. I think I'd take Battle Shout all day over this. Anyway, Deep Wounds. Scattergun's hits extend your wound durations on the enemies by 0.25 seconds. I don't know, actually, because this, with that, would be really good as well. And Savage Citation. Satiation. What are these words? Why can I not read them? I'm an idiot. Anyway, Carnage's impact damage gains 100% lifesteal. Yeah, citate. I can't say that word again. But anyway, that's pretty good. But I think I take this because you've got more scattergun shots, right? So this will trigger more potentially. But this is a lot of lifesteal if it goes off. So I don't know. Pretty good. Mauga. Okay. Kinetic Bandolier. Overrun reloads up to 150% ammo while charging. 2 hearts. While on an objective, Mauga counts as 2 heroes and regenerates 20 health per second. That's interesting. That really is interesting. But again, it's like he can heal himself. Like, really, that's quite a lot as well. Firewalker, Overrun ignites enemies hit. And Combat Fuel, critical hits grant Mauga 2 temporary overhealth on cardiac overdrives next use, up to 100. I'll be honest, this seems really funky. This seems like it's almost changing the flow of play as well. It's like it's giving you a new sort of gameplay loop with a hero. This might be stealth for my... Well, it's not really stealthy, but I was going to say this might be my the most interesting one so far. This is actually kind of cool, this is. Orisa. Okay, again, we've seen the Orisa ones from the little video clip they did, but this is the text for them. So primary fire critical hit refunds heat, or refund heat. Heat, sorry, so you can keep shooting longer if you land in the crits. A fleeting bulwark is 4 to 5, briefly grants an additional 100 overhealth when active. A major charge javelin, hold right click to charge energy javelin, increasing its speed and knockback, piercing enemies at full power. And protective barrier converts javelin spin to instead launch a barrier. So getting your old ability back if you want your barrier, or you just want to be, I don't know, Orisas are interesting, but I feel they're not as interesting as the Mauga ones, that's for sure. All right, Ramattra. So, Void Surge. Void accelerates and periodically releases a burst of 6 additional projectiles during continuous fire. That's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, he doesn't do too much damage. But I don't know. That's interesting. Prolonged Barrier. Void Barrier's duration is increased by 20. You're just taking that. You're just taking that. That's way better than this. You're taking that. Right, so selectable at level 3. Nanite Repair. Ramattra is healed for 50 health per second while within Ravenous Vortex. So again, I like that because it's given an ability, a dual use. You can use it offensively. You can obviously it pulls enemy heroes down if they're in the sky, but you're just using it to throw it around corners or throw it into the enemy team, whatever, do damage and whatnot. Or you can say, no, I'm going to throw it to the ground to heal myself. And if you want to fight me in it, then you can, because I'm also getting healed in it. That's actually really good. Vengeful Vortex. While Ravenous Vortex is airborne, use E again to detonate it, dealing 50 damage and pulling enemies downward. I think I take Nanite Repair there and the barrier. So again, Ramattra seem a little bit like... All right, then, what does Ryan get? So Crusader's Resolve. While using Barrier Field, your passive health regeneration triggers 50% sooner. That's pretty good, actually, because obviously you can just... that is pretty good. Fiery Uptake. Barrier Field is healed for 100% of fire strikes damaged up. But I think I take this, right? Because this, Crusader's Resolve, you're going to put your shield up. You know, if you're taking damage on your person, you put your shield up. Your supports are going to heal you, right? So... I think I take this. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure. Shield Slam. While Barrier Field is active, use right-click to damage and knock back enemies. So, yeah, a massive Shield Slam with Reinhardt. Makes sense. Crushing Victory. Charge damage grants temporary overhealth for 50% of the damage dealt. These Ryan ones are kind of a bit boring as well. I hate to say it. I feel like you're going to take... I'm not sure. Maybe you do take Crusader's Resolve, but I feel like you're going to get healed, right? Maybe this is going to be better at low levels, but this one here is like you can actively heal your barrier, so you can go in, get your barrier destroyed, then launch 2 fire strikes in. You've instantly got a 200 barrier ready to go, but barrier's already kind of charging as you're doing the 2 fire strikes, so I don't know. I don't know about this one. Roadhog. Okay, so Scrap Hook, Chain Hook hits reload 2 ammo. That's okay. Pigpen's throw range is increased by 50%. All right, probably take Scrap Hawk maybe instead of Pigpen. Invigorate, take a breather, rapidly increases Roadhog's movement speed by 30%. And Hogdrogen exposure, take a breather, also heals nearby allies for 50%. I remember when they tested that out in the experimental mode all those years ago. Yeah, this seems okay, to be honest. Sigma. All right, then. So, Kinetic Cycle. Absorbing projectiles with Kinetic Grasp also reduces Accretion's cooldown. I do like that. That's quite nice. Massive Impact. Accretion's knockdown duration increases to up to 3 seconds based on travel distance. I also like that. See what I mean? Like, his seem really cool. Both of those seem really cool. A major Hyper Strike. Every 5 direct hits with Hyperspheres, your next successful quick melee levitates and knocks away enemies. Okay. And levitation, activate to hold double jump to briefly levitate upwards. These are kind of like, because it's really easy to hit with Hyper Strike. And if this has got a good indicator, then you just melee. That could be quick melee levitates and knocks away enemies. That could be quite good, actually. And this is very thematic. I like these. They're nice. All right, Winston. So, Short Circuit. Tesla Cannon deals 30% more damage to deployable objects. That's not very good for Torb or Sim, is it? A Heavy Landing. During Primal Rage, jump packs damage and area increase by up to 75% while airborne. That seems really goddamn good. Like, you take this if you were against Sim or Tor, but if you're not, you're just taking this every single time. Maybe like Illari's thing as well, but I mean, nah, you're taking that all day long. I know it's the ultimate perk, but I mean, you take that. And Major is Chain Lightning. Fully charged secondary fire hits bounce up to 2 additional targets. I think that was like the OG, well, I say the OG, but that was like the Winston from the Overwatch 2 announcement stuff back years and years ago. And Revitalizing Barrier. Barrier Projector heals allies within it for 30 health. So it doesn't heal you, but it heals allies. I don't know here. I think you take that all the time, and then this is a... this could come in really clutch, but I think this gets you more value throughout the game. Wrecking Ball. All right, then. So Steamroller. Roll impacts deal 100% more damage to tanks. Pack Rat. Health packs heal an additional 100 health. I mean, they're both good, actually. I don't know, take your pick. Hang Time, probably Pack Rat, to be honest, you take. But Hang Time, Pile Driver winds up longer, gaining air control and dealing up to 50% more damage. That could be massive. That'd actually be massive. Also, 50% extra damage is loads. Transfer Efficiency, reactivating adaptive shields, reduce its cooldown by 1.5 seconds per ally affected. And ally health gained is increased by 33%. I think this is more fun, but I think this might be quite effective. But this is fun. Take Hang Time. Pile drive people into oblivion. It is the way forward. So Zarya, final hero, but this is what she gets. So secondary fire's south knockback is increased by 75%. Now, I actually think this is bonkers because you think of like doing the trick shot with Zarya where you can fire up into the sky and then hit your secondary fire into the ground and get that sort of like double boop. You can just kind of just do that anyway with the perk, which I think is actually pretty good, to be honest. A Gravitation Crush. Gravitation Surge deals up to 30% of enemy max health as damage over time. That could also be quite good because it's like you can combo with yourself with your ultimate. They're interesting, they are. Because I do like the movement on Zarya, but what, are you using the movement that much? I don't know. Anyway, Energy Lance. Particle Cannon's beam pierces enemies while over 50 energy. What? That'd be crazy, that would. And Spotter. Projected Barrier activates ally health regeneration and increases their movement speed by 15%. Oh. That's quite good, actually. Because you can just go, here, start your health regeneration, and guess what? You can move faster to allies. That's actually pretty good. But I think the selfish player in me would take that. That's actually crazy. What? All right, guys. So, yeah, I mean, I wanted to... I think it's bonkers that they've actually put all these out on the... in fact, let's just go back to it. Put all of these out on the website for the heroes. I mean, yeah, there's a lot there. I think my takeaway from this is I am finally glad that it feels like the development team in charge of the game now are getting to stamp their own sort of identity onto the game. And I think this actually is kind of a cool way of adding more complexity to the game that everyone knows how to play, but trying to make it a bit more like there's a bit more to do, more decisions to make, almost like making like, I don't know, sort of like mini games within a round of Overwatch or a match of Overwatch. I think that's pretty cool. And they can keep changing these. They could add new ones. And again, it's just another thing for balance. And I think, to be honest, we seem to be going into the era now of these hero shooter games, especially looking at Rivals, where it's just about adding loads of fun stuff and then deal with balance as it comes. And yeah, Overwatch is adding hero bans to the game, which is one way of the community self-regulating balance. And yeah, we've seen that work really well in Rivals. All right, guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. And yeah, if you enjoyed that, do like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you soon.